Welcome to the Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week presented by Wendy's. We're live at Custer Stadium as Morse Marshall takes on Milwaukee South Division in his City Conference Showdown. Hi, my name is Mike McGivern. I'm with Sports Radio 1250 WSSP, and this is the Sports Radio 1250 pregame show. I'm joined by the two head coaches, Scott Hawkins, Morse Marshall, Carlos Rodriguez from South Division. Let's start with you, Coach. You guys have won 3 in a row. And talking before the game, had a pretty good chance to maybe win that fourth one early on. Feeling pretty good about where your boys are at right now?
Yes and no. They're ups and downs in the season. We pulled out a tough one against Pulaski. We lost a tough one to King. We held on to beat Hamilton, but nothing's come easy yet. So I'm up and down. I'm kind of stuck in the middle of where I feel about my guys. If I can get consistent play on every down, I feel a lot better.
Sure. Carlos, let's go to you. It's been a tough year, 0-6 at this point, but we had a chance to talk beforehand. A lot of guys that have never played football before, and you've got them to come out, and they're starting to compete a little bit. It's been a tough season for you guys.
Yeah, it's kind of like a double whammy. Our upperclassmen seniors, we have about 5 seniors that it's the first time out playing varsity football, and then we're loaded with freshmen. So we have a young team, a lot of inexperience. And it's been evident this year.
Hey, let's stay on your side real quick. This is year 2 as a head coach.
Yes.
What do you have to do in a building like South Division to get more kids to come out? You know, football's a numbers game, and it's just difficult to get kids to make that commitment. I think that maybe you see in other schools and other conferences.
Yeah, South, the commitment's a big word. You said, Mike. This will help. This Thursday night game like this would bring a lot of interest. So hopefully for next year we have a few more. I would bring some more guys interested in playing football. Just going out and doing our best to recruit, get a few wins under our belt. It'll bring more excitement to the program and get more players out.
Yeah, I agree with that, Carlos. Good luck with that. Same with you. You know, Coach, 25, 26 kids, I think you'd said that he'll dress for tonight. You know, it's just difficult to play a full season football with numbers like that, with injuries and kids maybe not showing the type of commitment. Are you obviously still trying to get kids to have interest in football? Does it start at the youth level, do you think, or where does this come from?
Yes, it starts at the youth level. At the same time, I deal with 3 schools, and I still have horrible numbers. So I just think that kids have different responsibilities, different commitments in life right now than they did, let's say, when I was a kid. Right now, kids are helping out with grown-up responsibilities, and it's taken away from them being kids.
Yeah.
Like, I have kids now who are getting new jobs. I'm like, why are you getting a new job during the season? The reasons are valid. I have to accept it, but I think it has a big reason to do it why city football numbers are low. Kids are doing grown-up things these days.
You bet. Boys, I'm going to let you cut you loose, get you back to your teams. Other side of the break, Dick Basham and John Weiser for the keys to the game. This is the Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week presented by Wendy's.
Custer Stadium, the scene of Week 7 of the high school football season, and it kicks off tonight. Milwaukee City Conference action. Morse Marshall Eagles against the South Division Cardinals. Hello again, everyone. With Dick Basham, John Weiser with you. Glad you're along for this one here tonight. An important ball game for the Eagles here as they try and keep pace with Milwaukee King for that top spot in the City Conference.
Well, King is the front runner and has shown that they're a very good football team. And I think Marshall is going to do a good job tonight, and I think they're going to find themselves in the playoffs this year.
Cardinals looking for their first win of the season, trying to play a little bit of a spoiler here tonight.
Yeah, they have not been able to win a game. They do have some good athletes, and we'll see how they perform tonight. It should be an interesting game.
One of those fine athletes for the Cardinals is their running back, the sophomore Nance.
Yeah, Rashid Nance is only a sophomore, played quite a bit last year as a freshman. Their coach, Carlos Rodriguez, says he thinks he can score from anywhere in the field, and he's the guy that makes their offense go. So I think he's going to be important to their success tonight.
Defensively, they've taken it on the chin a couple of times, but on the middle of that defense, the nose guard, James Tucker, one of the outstanding players.
Yeah, James Tucker, about 6 feet, 185 pounds. Not very big for a defensive lineman, but he's very quick. He's their leading tackler from that nose man position. He's also caused several fumbles this year. He's going to play offensive guard, and I think as he goes, so goes the defense for South.
Let's talk about the Eagles' offense here tonight. What are we looking at?
Well, Jordan Thornton is their quarterback, and he started last year in a game that we did on Thursday Night Lights, and he's a good player. He's about 6 feet, 160, 70 pounds, throws the ball very well, can run if he has to. He has some good running backs to hand off to, and he has some good receivers, so I think he's going to be the key to their offense tonight.
Kewan Smith on defense, another good linebacker for the Eagles.
Right, a two-way player. He's also their fullback, played last year. On defense, he plays middle linebacker. He's strong, aggressive, quick, good tackler, and gets around, and that's what a linebacker does. And I think if he has a good game tonight, Marshall will do real well.
Takes us to our keys for the ball game tonight. What do we have?
Well, I think the keys are real simple for South. Being an underdog, they need to minimize their mistakes and their turnovers. They need to complete some passes to take the pressure off their running game, because that's really how they've gained their yards. And they need to tackle well on defense, and I think to keep that score in line. For Marshall, I think they need to run the ball effectively, and that's what they do most. They need to execute their option responsibilities and not let Rashid Nance get out and run. And then they need to take care of the football on offense and not turn it over.
It's a balmy October night. Sounds strange, but that's what we have here tonight. It's Morse Marshall against South Division. We'll have the kickoff for you right after this. Back at Custer Stadium on Milwaukee's north side, a city conference matchup tonight. Milwaukee South taking on the Morse Marshall Eagles tonight in a Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Right now we're going to enjoy our national anthem tonight. John Weiser, Dick Basham with you, and no, we're not being invaded here. It is just so muggy here tonight. Very little wind. Bugs going to be a concern here tonight. Never saw anything quite like that as you looked at our pictures here during the national anthem. So we're going to have quite an interesting evening here tonight. Very little breeze, very muggy, and hydration the key here tonight for both teams.
I think as long as those bugs stay up in the lights, we're okay. I don't see any down on the field.
Eagles in red tonight. The Cardinals wearing the road whites as we get set for this one.
Well, it's two teams that have both have some good athletes. It's a matter of, I think, who can get their athletes out in space and get them in the open field and give them a chance to show what they can do.
Carlos Rodriguez in his second season as head coach for South Division. They're trying to look for their first win here. They'd love nothing more than to be a little bit of a spoiler here down the stretch and maybe derail a little bit the anticipation of Morse Marshall trying to get themselves playoff eligible here at 3-3 going into the game here tonight.
Well, they do have a very capable quarterback and a good running back, and they have some wide receivers that can run and catch. It's a matter, I think, if the quarterback's going to get time to throw and the running back's going to have a place to run. And if their offensive line can block Marshall, then they have a fighting chance. Otherwise, I think on paper, Morse Marshall is a better football team at this point, and we'll see if that proves to be true tonight.
Leo King and Rashid Nance are standing deep to our left to accept the kickoff here tonight. The Eagles, Morse Marshall in the red jerseys, red pants, wearing the pink socks in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It'll be Walter McCullough who does the place kicking here for the Eagles. And we are set to go and underway tonight. A short kickoff here to the near side. And it'll be taken by one member of the front line and spun out of bounds near the 45-yard line. I believe that was Dominic Ware-Ward who made the return. And good field position here for South Division just across their own 35-yard line to get things started here tonight.
Well, they got good field position. That was obviously a short kick, and right by the sideline, he's headed for the sideline, and I think they could take that field position anytime they can get it.
Mark Witherspoon is the quarterback, a 5'10 senior. He will run the offense. We'll see Rashid Nance as the single back. We'll see quite a bit of the double receiver. You'll see the twin wides here. So Nance the single back. Witherspoon will line up under center to call the play, but we'll see him out of that gun, out of that pistol at times as well here tonight. He'll take the first snap. He'll give it to Nance. Nance trying to pick his way over the left side across the 36 out to the 39-yard line. Pickup of 3 for Rashid Nance, brought down by Todd Clark, the defensive tackle.
Yeah, just a little zone play there. Set the tone for the night, and Marshall was all over that, and maybe a yard at the most, 2 yards, I guess.
They'll line up Leo King here as a single receiver here to the near side. They'll go trips far side. Kevin Montgomery, the wide out, the flanker on that far side on 2nd down and 7. They'll toss sweep to Nance. He has some running room. Nance out across the 40, out to the 43-yard line where he is wrapped up there. Kevon Ellis, the junior linebacker on the outside, able to step up and make the play.
A little toss play, and Nance showed he's got a little bit of a burst, but Ellis also had a burst, and he was able to hold it just to a couple of yards. So we're looking at 3rd and 3 here.
And right on schedule here for the Cardinals offensively. They've got to keep themselves in manageable down and distances here, particularly late in the possessions.
Yeah.
Witherspoon will get them set. Twins left and right. Single back Nance. He'll run the option. The pitch back to Nance. Nance will get the first down and more across the 45. Spins his way across midfield down to the 47-yard line. And a first bank first down for the Cardinals. McCullough brought him down. And it will go as our initial first down of the ball game.
Well, that's a little speed option to the right. And Witherspoon did a good job of that end. Went after him, and he just dumped the ball out to Nance. And he turned it up and got plenty of yardage. That was a nice play.
Again, a thank you to First Bank Financial Center for being our first down sponsor on Thursday Night Lights. First Bank Financial Center, one bank, one resource. It is a 1st and 10. Nance up the middle, picks his way back to the right side with some room, gets it down to the 35-yard line. A late penalty marker thrown, our first flag of the game. Todd Clark, the defensive tackle there to make the stop.
Well, I think South didn't have 5 linemen on the line of scrimmage. Number 52, who pulled, was backed off in order to have a little advantage. No, they called a face mask.
Kenneth White, our official here tonight, signaling a face mask penalty. It'll go against the Eagles. Tack on the extra yardage after the play, and it should be close. If not, it is a first down as we take another look here at the tackle.
Yeah, there's that little cutback. He's got, you can see that Nance has got
there.
good feet. Yeah, he grabbed his helmet. Good call.
It looked like it was Purvis Jones, the free safety, who kind of clipped him across the top of the helmet, pulled his face back. And now Witherspoon will keep it. Witherspoon nowhere to go as he ran into his own blockers that time, got covered up by Todd Clark.
Right.
Once again, we've called his name quite a bit here on this drive. Clark, the defensive tackle, able to wrap him up.
Well, that was what they call the zone read play, and he decided to keep it and headed up inside and tried to bounce outside and got tangled up and lost a half a yard.
Witherspoon, about a 3.1 yard per average, lost a yard here. It's 2nd down and 11. Line up Nance off his left hip. Nance will get the call. Nance met in the backfield and brought down immediately. Todd Clark once again in on the stop.
Yeah, Todd Clark came untouched, and he was all over that. He almost got the handoff, in fact.
This is where it gets troubling here for South Division. These 3rd and long distances as we get another look. Clark off the ball here, and he was untouched.
He was, yeah. Well, we'll see if they decide to put it in the air.
They'll line up here with Montgomery and King here to the near side.
Yeah, King is their leading receiver.
They'll look left, throw left. They'll try and spread it out there. They get it out complete. Cedric Hayes Hayes back to the original down marker at the 35-yard line before he is pulled back there. It was Kewan Smith who got there defensively. Cedric Hayes, the freshman, again, you're going to see
only
quite
freshman,
a bit.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He's got 12 receptions on the year for 90 yards, so he's capable.
So we take another look here.
Picking up 13 yards is a little bit of a big task for a young freshman, especially when the defense knows that's what you have to do.
4th and 10 from the Morse Marshall 35-yard line. They will go for it here. And it'll be Witherspoon to the 34, and that's it. Again, Clark there to make the stop.
Well, not much chance there that they just kept the ball in the middle of the field. I'm a little surprised that they didn't maybe back him up and punt it, but evidently they felt they had a chance to get the first down.
Again, a reminder that Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click onto the Thursday Night Light link, and you can also find complete game videos and photos for this season's games. That's my24milwaukee.com. Cardinals turn it over on downs at the 34-yard line. This will be Morse Marshall. Their first offensive set. Jordan Thornton, the senior quarterback, will line up under center. They'll go I formation. Smith, the fullback. Island, the tailback. And it's Island picking his way forward. Island with room over the left side. He could go, and he is gone. This will go 65 yards. Oh, brought down from behind at the last minute. Nance had to run him down. Rashid Nance, that goes both ways for the Cardinals, came clear across the field to make the tackle to save the touchdown. One more look.
Well, Nance wasn't scheduled to start on defense, but as he had to, and he showed his speed right here. Sophomore was able to run Island down. Island played last year, was a very good football player, and I'm a little surprised he got caught from behind. But
timeout taken here with 7:52 remaining here in this first quarter on our first big play here of this ball game. The big run by Terry Island. Barely got time to set the offense for you for the Eagles. Island, the tailback. Kewan Smith is your fullback. And then the tight end is Kevon Ellis. Tevian Brooks is the flanker. And the split end is Mike Harris, the specialist out there for the Eagles.
And their offensive lineman, Tyson Johnson's their left tackle. Josh Dixon, the left guard. Anthony Ross is the senior center. Travell Wooten is right guard. And Trent Terpstra is the right tackle.
Let's head downstairs to Kara.
Hi there. I'm standing here with Sharon Mitchell, Wendy, and Frosty, district manager for Wendy's Restaurants. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing just wonderful.
Well, that's great. And I understand that you guys are, you're huge supporters of high school football, but you also have some really great fundraising opportunities?
Yes, we do have some great fun opportunities for organizations, sports, clubs in high school that need to raise money for some event. You can come to Wendy's and get more information about it.
And you guys also have some really great items on your menu. And what's our newest item this month?
The newest item is the Pretzel Pub Chicken, which is a wonderful tasting sandwich with goozing with cheese. It is wonderful. Come in and try it.
It sounds really good. And hey, don't forget to log on to my24milwaukee.com and vote for the Wendy's High School Football Fanatic link. Watch the videos, pick your favorite fanatic, and cast your vote. The winners receive a year's supply of burgers from Wendy's, a Samsung tablet. Voting ends October 20th. Wendy's High School Football Fanatic, brought to you by Wendy's and My24. Thank you guys very much for being here.
Thank you.
And back to you in the booth.
Kevon Ellis with the 15-yard touchdown reception in the two-point conversion run in by Kewan Smith, and it's 8-0 Morse Marshall with 7:39 to go. We'll take one more look at the touchdown pass.
Yeah, just a little out to the right. Caught it, made turn down the field, was able to get to the pylon, get in.
Just beat the tackle by Leo King. Third touchdown reception of the year for Kevon Ellis, the junior. The tight end making the touchdown reception, and then it was Kewan Smith for the two-point conversion. And the 50-yard run setting this up.
Well, that was pretty easy. I think South has had trouble on defense, and I think that could be the story tonight, unfortunately.
Let's head back downstairs. Mike McGivern.
Hey, boys, listen to the defensive coordinator at Morse Marshall. they're having some complications in the backfield on defense, and not quite sure exactly what they need to do. One kid says, "Hey, you're yelling to me to go deep, and then you're telling me to come up." So I'd like to watch this next set and see if they've got that figured out.
We'll see if that comes into play here as the line drive kick rolls down and covered up. Gerald's, I believe, covering it up just across his own 30-yard line. And so South Division will get football in relatively good shape here, but trailing now 8-0. A 50-yard run by Island to start the offense here for the Eagles.
See if they can get Nance out in the open again. That's where he's going to be at his best.
Nance, the tailback, single back actually in the backfield. And they'll run the option play to him, and he is brought down immediately. Again, clean look on the defense. No problems there with the secondary of the linebackers. Deshaun Jones, the senior, stepping right up, untouched.
Well, I said in the pregame that having their option responsibilities was important for Marshall, and they had the pitch covered.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15 for South Division.
This is where they get in trouble because they have not been a prolific passing team, and they're going to need to complete some passes.
Now movement on the left side, and
I think the defense was offside first.
we'll take a look here.
See if the officials saw it that way. Yes.
Yep, defense offside the call, so they'll get those 5 yards back, sets up a 2nd and 10 for South Division. There you get a look at Kevin Montgomery, the senior flanker here for the Cardinals. He's lined up here on the near side along with Leo King, who's in the slot. They'll give it to Nance. Bowls straight across, out across the 35, out to the 37-yard line. Ran over Deshaun Jones, who made the tackle.
Yeah, I like the way he runs. He brings it up in there and has got a good lean and really delivers a blow to the tackler.
Tell you what, coming into the game, Dick, 6.9 yards per carry.
Yeah, almost 7 yards a carry. That's a very respectable average, especially on a team that hasn't won a game.
Now 3rd and manageable now. 3rd and 5. Again, movement over there. And this time I think the offense may be flagged here. Yep, that'll be a false start.
I think it was James Tucker who jumped.
Tucker moving out to left tackle for this ball game, and Andrew Tyus moving into left guard. So they've got him on the outside to add a little protection there for their quarterback, Witherspoon. Tucker, 6 foot 185. So 3rd and 10 because of the penalty. Witherspoon again will work from the gun. Has some time, will deliver the football. Man open, nice toss. The catch, reception out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Nice job there getting the ball out. Cedric Hayes with the reception. Deshaun Jones in on the stop.
Yeah, the young freshman he stopped right in the hole, and Mark Witherspoon threw a really nice pass. I have not seen him throw very much in practice or in the warm-up, and he's got a very nice arm and a real quick release. I like what I see.
Carlos Rodriguez in the middle of your screen, the second-year head coach for the Cardinals. So 1st and 10 for South Division at their own 46-yard line. And again, Nance tries to break it right side, has some room. Nance breaks a tackle at the 45 and down to the 40-yard line. 15-yard pickup, Kewan Smith with the stop.
Just a little off tackle play to the right, and he gets to the edge and then turns up and breaks a tackle or two and gets a nice gain, gets him a first down here at the 40-yard line.
Boy, nice cut here, right there.
It was, right, yeah. And turns it right up in there and then breaks that tackle and finally gives in to, who was that? Kewan Smith made the tackle there?
Yes,
Looked
indeed.
like it was. Yeah.
5'10", 170, a sophomore, Rashid Nance.
Right.
Another first bank first down here for the Cardinals. 5:15 to go here in this first quarter. They trail 8-0. This time the quarterback, Witherspoon, will keep it. Breaks a tackle inside the 40, steps outside the 35, and then is wrapped up there. As bringing him down was Terry Island, also out there. Keeps moving that pile forward, and finally they blow it dead. See where they'll mark it. Probably just inside the 30-yard line. And it'll pick up another first down here, but good strong run. Witherspoon, Mark Witherspoon, 5'10", 155 as senior, and as I said, he averages just a shade over 3 yards per carry when he does run the football.
He's also a 3.7 student, and he actually was caught in the backfield, stepped out of the tackle, and then made that good run.
We'll mark it at the 28-yard line. Good response here by South Division after giving up that 50-yard run, and then second play giving up the touchdown, but coming right back here to flip the field position as they toss it out to Nance. Nice. Breaks a tackle. Nance still on his feet, dancing his way inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line. Pickup of about 4 for Nance, and he made the first man miss, made the second guy step out of tackle.
Well, you're going to see number 32 on 32 if we have a replay on this. Maybe we don't, but he was confronted.
Ellis.
There it is right here. He's confronted right there by Kevin Ellis, and he juked him and stepped out of that tackle and down the field and dished out some punishment on the end.
I like this kid, Nance.
Yeah,
he finishes his runs. Not afraid to dip the shoulder and take the man down who's trying to bring you down.
Very good player.
Witherspoon wants to pass, has a man open here on the near side. Montgomery makes the catch, is wrapped up by Island right at the 25-yard line. Trying to yank that football loose, but Kevin Montgomery, the 6-foot senior, able to hang on for the reception. It was a short gain, maybe a yard. It'll set up third and about 5 here for South Division.
Nothing fancy about that, just a really quick throw to the outside, trying to go one-on-one. Marshall was up to it and was able to stop it for a short gain.
They'll spot it at the 24-yard line.
So here's an important down now.
3rd and 5 for the Cardinals. Nance, the single back. They'll line up 3 receivers to the left side. And Montgomery, or I should say Witherspoon, will roll out to his left. Wants to throw back of the end zone. Leaping attempt, and it's just a little too strong, incomplete. He was out there looking for his receiver out there. That was Ronald Geralds. On offense, that third receiver out there was lined up as a wideout.
Yeah, he was fairly well covered. The defender was in front of him. He forced him to throw the ball over the defender's head, and it was just a little too much.
There's Purvis Jones on the coverage back there. And I'll set up a 4th and 5 for the Cardinals. All at the 24-yard line. Again, Nance in single back formation. Quarterback Witherspoon. He'll fake the handoff, but in trouble immediately, and down he goes back at the 30-yard line. Defense wasn't fooled. The Eagles were ready as Tremel Wright makes the tackle, stopping the Cardinals on the drive. They'll get the football back when we come back. 2:50 remaining here in this first quarter. 8-0 Morse Marshall over South Division. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. A 15-yard touchdown pass after a 50-yard run has put the Eagles on top of the Cardinals 8-0 on our Week 7 Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. King of the Hill is back. Hang out with Hank Hill, his family, and all of his rowdy friends. Don't miss King of the Hill weeknights at 5, only on My Place for Fun, My 24. Well, the Cardinals turning it over on downs for the second time tonight. That'll put the Eagles back on offense here from their own 30-yard line. Jordan Thornton in under center. Island, the tailback, he'll get the toss. And fumbles the football, and it's loose near the 25-yard line, and he got it right back.
Yeah,
he was down there. He'll lose 5. Jamian Stansel, I believe, was the first man there who made contact.
Yeah, he was right there. Defensive end got up the field, beat the blocker, and Island got lucky. He turned around, and the ball was right at his feet.
Well, that's what a aggressive team needs to do here. Looking for their first win. They've got to force turnovers here deep in their opponent's territory.
Well, South has all 11 players within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. They're just putting the pressure on him, daring him to throw it, it looks like.
Thornton has completed 37% of his passes this year. And they'll run out of that formation. Island again trying to turn the corner right side. Gets it across the 25 out to the 28-yard line. Gain of about 3 for the Eagles.
Good job on the edge out there. I think that might have been Ronell Geralds who was able to turn that play in. Important thing with that is they kept him going sideways. As long as you're running east and west, as they say, rather than north and south, they're not gaining any yards.
Sidney Yara will come in now, the junior. Late to the huddle here. As he came in right off the bench here into this play. 3rd and 12, we'll call it. And Thornton wants to pass with time going over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, well covered.
Looking for Mike Harris that time, running a skinny post. Well covered. I think it was Witherspoon out there,
yep,
who goes both ways as the quarterback and cornerback on the coverage.
Yeah, he leads their team in interceptions, and he was right there step for step. It would have taken a perfect throw.
So 4th down and 12. And let's see what we got here. Punt formation.
Can't see that number on their punter.
This will be a short punt that will bounce inside the 45 and roll dead inside the 40 at the 39-yard line.
I think number 79, Tristan Rohde, was the punter.
That's what it looked like, yes. So Tristan Rohde's punt rolls dead at the 39-yard line. Minute 15 remaining first quarter, and the Cardinals get a 3-and-out, much needed 3-and-out stop here of Morse Marshall.
Well, they had a good drive going. They haven't been able to finish. They've been down inside the 30-yard line twice, I think, and have got no points to show for it. But they've done a good job of moving the ball. I have to give them credit.
Now I think the Cardinals will be forced. Let's see if we're going to take a timeout or not. I know the officials stopped play here. Now we'll wind it down. Kenneth White, our official here tonight. Leading our officiating crew, I should say, here tonight. So 1st and 10, South Division from their own 39-yard line. Trailing 8-0 here late first quarter. A long time in the huddle here. The back judge already counting down, and I don't think they're going to get this off, and they're going to have to spend a timeout. Boy, a lot of confusion. And they do take the timeout here as that count was down to 1 on the back judge that time, Dave Burgos.
I don't think they had 10 or 11 guys on the field.
There was confusion. They had sent somebody out of the huddle, and then they didn't replace him, evidently. So hey, you can play with 9, you can play with 10, you just can't play with 12. So.
Well, you can, but they penalize you.
Yeah.
It's a warm night here. You can see boys are sweating pretty good, and the humidity's up a little bit. But so far, the bugs have stayed up by the lights.
Oh, while we're waiting through this timeout, let's go back downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey, boys, listen to the offensive line coach from Morse Marshall. They're having a little bit of a problem when Milwaukee South adjusts out of that 4-4. When they're adjusting pre-snap, they just can't figure out who to block, and they're having a hard time with the inside linebacker who's coming in, trying to get that all figured out during this timeout.
And that's
why they do it, is to confuse them and take away their aggressiveness. And so far, it's been effective.
Now we're set 1st and 10 from the 39. And this play will be whistled dead.
55 moved.
Yep. Yeah. Jumping off was Raquan Cowens in there at offensive line. Cowens, a 6'4", 270-pound right tackle. And
pretty hard to hide him out there.
So it'll be a 1st and 15 because of the penalty. And that's something I'm sure Coach Rodriguez is not happy about, and that's part of being an 0-6 team. You've got to get the mental part.
Well, when you're a running team, too, you don't want to have 1st and 15, that's for sure.
I'm not sure we should have a cat present while birds are playing here.
Yeah.
1st and 15, and we won't get this snap off either.
I think the other tackle moved. They're pulling their tackle all the way across the formation, and he's trying to get it jumped and get over there. And I think there's two things happening. I think they're lining up off the line of scrimmage a little too much and probably could be penalized for that. But they are also trying to get that jump on the snap count and get over there.
Well, I think they're going to try and get that extra blocker in motion
Right.
and try and take care of Clark, who's been across that line of scrimmage several times here early on. Clark out of that defensive tackle position for Morse Marshall. So 1st and 20 now, back-to-back procedure calls, and then a high snap to Witherspoon, and he's in trouble. Witherspoon has it stripped out from behind, ball loose, picked up by Morse Marshall. And coming away with it is Sidney Yara, and I think it was McCullough who knocked it out of his hand, chasing down. Witherspoon will take another look.
Right. Come from behind, and number 81, Walter McCullough, grabbed his arm and got loose, and Sidney Ura.
So Morse Marshall will try and take advantage here with 63 seconds to go in the quarter. The fumble recovery from the Cardinal 32-yard line. Thornton wants to throw. Pump fakes. Now goes back far side, trying to throw to a spot, and it's incomplete. And he was looking for Kevin Ellis, the junior.
Right.
More of a timing pattern. Again, you look at it from the fan standpoint, going, where is he throwing that football? But trying to take advantage of the speed out there.
There was a hole down there, and he just the ball got there before the receiver did.
So 2nd and 10 from the 32, stopping the clock. 57 seconds to go in the quarter. In the backfield, Island and Smith. Smith, the fullback, offset eye. Give it to Island, trying to get the corner. Breaks a tackle from behind the line, but not going to get out of Ronald Gerald's arm reach that time as Gerald steps up to make the good open field tackle at the 30-yard line. So just a small gain of 1, and so good play here. Sets up Morse Marshall in a 3rd and long situation here.
Well, the guy who messed that up was James Tucker, the nose man. He was in the backfield and spun him around a little bit. Gerald was able to finish him off.
Call it 3rd and 8 here for the Eagles. They'll work from the gun. Smith and Island either side of the quarterback, Thornton. Looking to throw, steps up, hit as he's thrown, ball in the air, and the man had it, dropped it, incomplete. Mike Harris had a gift-wrap touchdown and just couldn't look it all the way in.
Well, he's got 7 catches for 147 yards average and 2 touchdowns, so he's going to be dreaming about that one.
Come right in your armchair here
it's
at
right
home.
there, boy. That was great camera work, and he almost was able to grab it before it hit the ground. It was too easy. Too much time to think about it. Sometimes that paralyzes you a little bit.
There we go. Same formation here. They'll line up Harris as a single receiver here to the near side. Ellis the slot to the right. Pressure on. Thornton delivers the ball, and it is intercepted. Witherspoon intercepting inside the 10-yard line at the 8. So teams turning it over. 2nd turnover tonight for Morse Marshall. The interception by Mark Witherspoon.
Well, he made that look easy. That was a low throw, and that had some steam on it, and he caught that with no difficulty whatsoever. And he was open, but the trouble is he was wearing a white uniform.
Yeah, it was intended for Tavian Brooks, who was running a post route and just never got there. And Witherspoon broke off the coverage, knew where the ball was going immediately, made the play for the ball, and gave up the coverage on the receiver. Nice job.
That was very well done by the defense.
So our final play here of this first quarter. And Witherspoon will keep it himself, trying to get the edge, gets a block on the outside and gets out near the 15-yard line.
Island made the tackle.
Nice run, nice tackle by Island to usher him out as our second quarter comes to an end here at Custer Stadium in Milwaukee. Morse Marshall with the 8-0 lead over South Division. Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's. Morse Marshall Eagles with the 8-0 lead as we start the second quarter from Custer Stadium. John Weiser, Dick Basham, Mike McGivern, and Kara with you tonight, along with our entire My 24 crew. Cardinal trying to take advantage of his height over a cat. We got it all happening here tonight. Cardinals facing a 2nd and 3 as Witherspoon trying to keep it, and he'll be brought down in the backfield. Well, he tried to change the cadence of that count and got brought down immediately in the backfield once again by Sidney Yera.
Well, I think what happened is the snap was a little high and he lost the handle on it and he couldn't get it to Nance. Now I take that back. I think number 23.
Yera.
Yeah, Yera got in there and took care of business before he had a chance.
So a loss back near the 11-yard line, bring up a 3rd and about 9 here. Nance the single back. They'll toss it out to Nance. Gets a seal
Nice
block,
cut.
cuts it up the middle. He'll get close to the first down out near the 20-yard line. Nice little cut at the hash mark that time by the sophomore Nash. Tremel Wright brought him down, but Nance with a good run picks up the first down on that beautiful cut at the hash mark.
Well, he did a good job of using his blocker and setting up the block, keeping the defender to the outside and making a good cut. That was the key to that play right there.
Another first bank first down for you here tonight. Cardinals with a little bit of room now out near their 20-yard line, 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the right side. And they'll toss it out. Nance again breaks a tackle. Stutter steps back up the middle across the 25, across the 30, out to the 35-yard line. 14-yard pickup and a first down. Nance again spinning and dancing his way to pick up the first down.
Well, he's got great footwork. He can stop on a dime, change direction to the right and back to the left. Has good vision, turns it up the field, and that is a very nice run right there.
And Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's, available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. 1st and 10, South Division from their own 36-yard line. And back judge again, delay a game.
Wow, that's
throwing
too
the
bad.
flag. Yeah, they're starting to get some momentum, and then the penalties kick in again.
Right.
Mark off 5 here, be a 1st and 15 back near the 30-yard line.
Need to move just a little faster coming out of that huddle. They're walking a little too slow, and I know they got a lot of guys playing both ways. I understand that, but they need to move just a hair faster.
4 penalties tonight already for the Cardinals. 1st and 15. Witherspoon again from the gun. Nance to his left. 3 receivers lined up here to the near side. Nance again. Met and dropped. Well, not brought down. Clark could not wrap him up. Nance just too shifty.
Wow.
Breaks tackle after tackle. And finally goes down near the 34-yard line. A pickup of about 4, but that was all Nance. Tristan Rohde finally brought him down, but it was Clark who got the initial hit.
I think you can count here probably at least 6 guys had a chance, and Clark had him dead to rights. 2, 3, 4, 5. Took the 5th or 6th guy to get him down. That was a great run. And all he got was back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, making something out of nothing. Again, they'll toss it out to Nance. Nance again cuts back to the inside, breaks it back near side, brought down from behind. Just too much red shirt in that middle of that field. McCullough again coming in for the tackle.
Yeah. It was a good cutback, but he really had no place to go. He had to stay lateral.
Rashid Nance coming into this game just under 460 yards rushing. But again, averaging about 6.9 per carry.
Well, this is probably a passing down. We'll see if they decide to do that. But Witherspoon has shown he's got a good arm, and he's got a couple of very capable receivers.
Movement up front once again. Been Deshaun Jones, who may have jumped the neutral zone there for the defense.
That helps a little bit, brings it to 3rd and 2 now. More manageable.
Well, makes it a 3rd and short now, 3rd and about 2. Need to get it just across the 45-yard line for the first down. We'll spot it at the 43. So we'll call it 3rd and 2.5 here. The wideout here to the near side is Hayes. 2 slots here on the near side. Run it to Nance, and Nance met right at the 45-yard line. We'll see what forward progress gets him, but you could hear that hit clear up here in the press box. That was a solid pad-on-pad tackle there.
That was a slobber knocker, as they say in the trade.
That's the Ellis and Smith combo.
Right. Yeah. But the thing about Nance, he didn't go down. He was able to keep his feet and still fall for the first down by about 6 inches.
And a full forward progress will give him the first bank first down just across the 45-yard line. So good job by Nance here on this drive. Again, the Cardinals making good accounting of themselves here. Only down 8-0 here.
They have played very well.
Witherspoon will fake the handoff and keep it himself, trying to get to the edge on the right side. Brought down at the line of scrimmage. I think getting there first was Anthony Ross. Ross, who got a jersey that time and was able to hang on till the help arrived. Able to stop him for no gain. Anthony Ross, a senior. And I think 26 dressed here for Morse Marshall. And we've got a timeout taken here by South Division.
Well, Marshall has a bigger squad than this. They just bring the guys that they feel are varsity capable players. They probably have about twice as many kids on their team, whereas South Division has almost everybody here.
As you heard in the pregame with Mike talking about trying to get the numbers out, trying to get kids out for football and at South Division. It's been a struggle, but the kids that
well, I thought Scott Hawkins made a good point in that interview that a lot of kids nowadays are doing adult things. They are getting jobs to help parents meet pay the bills and stuff like that. Has been a tough economy, and it's slowly getting better. But that's just that's life, and kids have to eat, parents have to eat, and that if they have to do that, then they can't play sports. It's unfortunate because this is some of the best years of their life.
Now it's time to tackle the Kaplan University Trivia Challenge. Text the word Kaplan, K-A-P-L-A-N, to 58447 to play for a chance to win a Kindle Fire. Now, message and data rates may apply. You will receive 2 messages with a trivia question and answer. If you need assistance, you can simply text HELP. Mobile privacy policy and terms and conditions are available on my24milwaukee.com. Downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Game, I was talking to Carlos Rodriguez, coach at South Division. He talked about number 32, the running back. He said, look, if we could ever get him some help, he'd be an awfully good back. That's a tough kid right there.
Yeah, that's true, Mike. If he had some help. And Witherspoon is a very capable. I'm impressed by Mark Witherspoon. I think he's a really good player. And I think both of them, if they had a little bit better offensive line, they got guys that are working hard, but they're playing both ways and they're getting tired. You can see that.
Montgomery with the reception. Island able to stop him on the far sideline. So it'll be 3rd and about 7 here. Just short of midfield. And they'll roll Witherspoon out. Wants to throw, coming back near side, and had 2 receivers out there incomplete. Both Hayes and Gerald's out there in the pattern that time for the Cardinals, setting up a 4th down.
And Caleb Rayford was in good position, made him throw it over his head.
So 4th down in midfield, and see what the Cardinals elect to do here. Looks like they're going to go ahead and punt.
I think Leo King is the punter.
He'll get this one away, a low wobbly kick that will be picked up here on the near side. Trying to get the edge here across midfield and got it right back to the line of scrimmage. Nice return that time, Tevian Brooks. Returning it all the way back to the 48-yard line of the Cardinals.
And James Tucker was able to run him down.
Tough one to pick up, but bounced right into his chin that time.
You can see Tucker come here right from his left, or from behind him.
We got a player down for the Cardinals. And it's very humid tonight. That's Gerald's, who was getting up.
Yeah, they need to get some water in these guys.
So a nice return out to the Cardinal 48-yard line. Sets up a 1st and 10 here for Morse Marshall. The Eagles leading here by a score of 8-0. Very early touchdown in the first quarter. 15-yard pass from Thornton to Ellis.
Since then, I think South has actually outplayed them. They don't have any points to show for it, but they have outplayed them a little bit.
Thornton will line them up. Island the tailback, Smith the fullback. Island gets the call. Island across the line, gets it to the 44-yard line where he is stopped there. So Counts and Stanstil are there.
Rico and Collins. Collins made the play.
Jamie and Stanstil also getting a piece. It was a gain of 4 down to the 44-yard line. Sets up a 2nd down 6 midway through our second quarter. Eagles with the 1-score lead here, but trying to take advantage of a nice punt return out to the 48-yard line. Island again with the carry inside the 40. 1st down and more down to the 37-yard line. Stanstil again, the 6-foot senior outside linebacker, in on the stop.
Well, you can see going no huddle now. Yet you know South is tired, and they got him on the run a little bit, trying to take advantage of that.
Thornton to Island. Island trying to go over the left side inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line. Stanstil again.
Stanstil, yeah, nice.
That
was a very nice
straight
tackle.
tackles here by Stanstil. Terry Island, 348 yards rushing coming into the game here tonight. Just under 4.5 per carry. 2nd and long. Island again dives forward inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Gain of about 5 on the play. Going to be short of the 1st down by about 1.5 yards. Drew Tyus there, and we've got Island down also here.
Well, South had to give South a little bit of a break.
So a timeout on the field here for the injured player. We'll take a break with them as well. 5 minutes to go in our first half. 8-0 Eagles. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Terry Island still struggling here after that last run play. Still being tended to.
He hasn't changed position since we've left. And
see if we can
see what happened here. Looks like he fell on the ball. And usually when that happens, it knocks the wind out of you, but you don't take this long to get it back. Unless he hurt his shoulder, he also had a lot of weight on that right shoulder.
Now he's up under his own power. That's good to see.
I think it might have been the wind knocked out of him. Yeah, you can the way he's reacting here a little bit.
Yeah, that is
that solar plexus muscle right in your middle of your sternum there, and that's a reactionary thing. You can't do anything about it. It just knocks all the air right out, and it's kind of a helpless feeling.
So Island will get tended to here on the sideline. Turn the running duty over here to Kewan Smith. He'll line up as the single back here on 3rd and 1 from the 28-yard line. He's going to change the play here.
So going to 2 tight ends.
Yep. Double tights here. They're going to throw out of that formation. They're going to go long, far side, ball in the air, through the hands of the receiver again. incomplete. Mike Harris twice now has had his hands on a potential touchdown pass.
I was watching him in the warm-up. He was catching him with one hand. No, that was a tough throw. That was a tough one. A little bit high and outside. He did a reverse pivot, a hip turn as we call it, and tried to make the play, but wasn't quite able to do it.
So 4th and a good yard here for Morse Marshall. Again, the single back is Smith. Same formation, twin tights, receivers either side, and we got a penalty marker thrown here before the snap.
I think 82 moved. False start.
Might be on Kevin Ellis here at the tight end on the near side. You see Caleb Rayford, the tight end on the left side. So from 4th and 1, a 4th and 6. Ball back to the 33-yard line here. We're 4.5 minutes to go here in this first half, and an 8-0 Morse Marshall lead. Thornton wants to throw, goes back over the middle, has his man caught, touchdown. Kevin Ellis, second touchdown reception tonight. He's doubled his pleasure, his 4th of the year, and it's a 14-0 Eagle lead.
That was well done. That was sent him right over the middle, and he got in behind the free safety and had to stretch for it and made a nice catch.
It's Cedric Ellis, the free safety, the freshman back there. Kind of took a peek back inside the backfield, and that step cost him. Well, now kick for the extra point here. Went for 2 on their first conversion.
Rhodey, looks like.
Yep, Tristan Rhodey, a junior. Ellis will hold, and it is blocked. So the conversion no good. Remains 14-0 Eagles. And Kevin Ellis, his second touchdown reception of the night. This one from 33 yards out. And Thornton on the year now, his 6th touchdown pass. Well, if you like Family Guy, you'll love The Cleveland Show. There'll be some good times and some bad times. There's even a bear, so don't miss his mustached face. It's The Cleveland Show, weeknights at 5:30, right here on My 24. Now a good punt return out across midfield, and then converting on 4th down. 4th and 6 from the 33, and they're able to get the touchdown pass to Kevin Ellis. Great night for football. Early October, when you wouldn't know it temperature-wise. Temperature's still in the 60s. Very little wind, if any, tonight.
Shot of Russ Thomas, who's the assistant athletic director, the man on the right with the clipboard. He's the assistant athletic director in the MPS school system.
A short kick taken across the 25. King out across the 40, out to the 43-yard line. About an 18-yard return out to the 43. Brought down by Terry Island out there. So good to see Island back in play. And here's the scoring summary here.
6 plays, 48 yards. And only took a couple minutes.
Ellis with his second touchdown of the game. Thornton his second touchdown pass of the ball game. And so the Cardinals now down 2 scores, but with good field position here at their own 43-yard line.
And time to get one before the half ends.
Witherspoon will get them set. Nance, he'll get the handoff. Nance up the middle, breaks a tackle across the 45, still on his feet to the 50-yard line.
I like that kid.
Clark finally got him down, but he just keeps those feet driving.
He's got those little pistons chugging and spins, and he's got great balance, and he doesn't give in. So there, he gets hit right there, and he gets 6 more yards after the first hit. That's a running back right there.
Second and short here for South Division. They'll put 3 receivers here to the near side. They'll toss it out near side. Nance trying to get in some space. Nance trying to get the edge. Brought down Good hard open field tackle that time. Is able to bring him down.
Kevon Ellis knocked him down.
Yep. So a good job there in the open field tackle, but it will be enough for a first down. At the 45 of the Eagles, a first bank first down here for South Division.
If South could complete a couple passes and keep that defense loose a little bit, not concentrating on the run, you can see they've got 8 guys packed up in there.
This time Witherspoon will take off, and very short gain of a couple that time. Deshaun Jones right there immediately clamped on the quarterback, brought him down for a short gain.
The defensive backs are giving them room to run short patterns. They could just zing a couple out there and keep the defense loose. That might help their running game.
Clock continues to roll here as we approach 3 minutes remaining in our first half. Cardinals taking a long time in that huddle. They'll send Montgomery split out to the far side. Twins left and right here. Single back is Nance, and Witherspoon again on the draw. Trying to get the edge here left side. Cuts it back at the numeral nicely. And gets tossed down hard at the 35-yard line, but hung on to the football. And nice play there.
Brooks, yeah.
Yep. Davian Brooks with a good hard hit.
Gets up with a little bit too much enthusiasm, though. Might have been rubbing it in a little bit. Official talked to him at that. Good run by Witherspoon, though. Stepped up inside, kept the defense in, and then broke it to the outside, and made a good play.
Picks up the first bank first down to the 35-yard line. Clock winding, 2:24 to go. South Division has been able to penetrate here to the 30 on their possessions, but have been unable to finish the drives. Nance up the middle with a hole, cuts it back right side. Nance still on his feet down to the 15-yard line. Gain of about 20 on the play for Nance, and again,
right through the middle of the defense.
Contact.
Yeah,
You're
through,
right.
Yeah, through the middle of the defense, and I think we're seeing a little fatigue on the Marshall side too, and they've taken a timeout, I believe, to regroup here.
Take another look here.
There it is, right here, coming straight at us. A lot of reaching out and grabbing, not a lot of hitting. That's a sign of fatigue.
Well, timeout taken here. Gives us a chance to remind you for scores and updates from all of the key high school football games in the area. Tune in to the Wendy's Varsity Blitz High School Scoreboard Show. And join our own Mike McGivern and High School Hall of Fame coach Ron Davies. That's Friday nights at 7 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. So a timeout here for the Eagles. Try and regroup. You can see the
Deion Jones is the defensive coordinator for Scott Hawkins at Marshall, and that's a good timeout. They have him on the run a little bit, slow it down and regroup, and get the guys that are fatigued back on track.
Play resumes. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line for the Cardinals. They trail 14-0. Trying to get some momentum into the locker room here late in this first half. 3 receivers to the right side. Nance met in the backfield, now spins to the right side, cuts it back at the hash, inside the 10, and down to about the 7-yard line is Nance. Good job by Sidney Yura, able to step up, make the play on him.
Nance has got a good sense of what is going on around him. He doesn't panic. He sees the field, and he finds a crack and goes for it. And
gain of 7 on the play, 2nd and a short 3 here. Thornton steps up, met and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Tried to step up and he was going to attempt a pass and then tried to pull it back down. It was Kevin Ellis again coming up the middle that time. Cardinals trying to hurry up. They have 1 timeout remaining, and so 3rd and 4 here as we go under a minute to play. Gerald's lines up in a slot here to the near side. They'll toss it out to Nance. Nance stumbled, and I don't think his knee touched as he continued on.
No, he didn't.
Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Just lost his footing. So the turf, natural grass, the only defender that time that stopped Nance from perhaps breaking a
Well, 4th and 2,
run.
and they're down to 32 seconds with one timeout and one down here. Timeout.
And they'll take their timeout right here with 26 seconds to go. Are they out of timeouts? Let's see what we got here.
Well, delay of game they call them because they called the
They
timeout.
may be out of timeouts. And,
I thought they had one left.
I thought so too. I know they used one early in the
Right.
first quarter. They used one here in the midway through the second quarter, but tough break there. So they call a delay of game by calling the timeout they did not have. So Nance now on 4th and 6, breaks a tackle, gets it.
He got it.
Yeah, he may have enough for the first down. Still on his feet. It's going to take 7 guys to finally bring Nance down.
The clock's going to run out because they can't. First down will stop it. They need to get up there
They
and
need
spike
to get to
it.
the line and spike it
and
here.
they have a
and
guy down too.
And an injured Cardinal down as well.
They got to get to the line of scrimmage and spike the ball here.
Got official stoppage of play here for an injury timeout. Injured Cardinal player is back up. And
Can't see who that is. I haven't been able to read the number.
was that Montgomery? No, it was not Montgomery. So now they got to get set here because the clock will wind down right here on the officials putting it in play. And Thornton will spike it here to stop the clock with 3 seconds left. So
That was a good move. They got one play left here.
and I got to believe 32 Nance is going to figure somewhere into that.
Right.
Why not get it to him? Try and maybe a little toss sweep again, try and get him on the edge.
Well, you know, Leo King is a pretty good sized receiver, number 85. He's their leading receiver. They might be able to hit him with a little dart right over the goal line too.
So 2nd and goal from just inside the 5-yard line for South Division.
Ellis is out there on the right side. He's got it. He could do a quick out.
Toss it out to Nance. Nance cuts it up the middle, stays on his feet to
Got
the
it.
end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. Rashid Nance, his 5th touchdown of the season with no time showing on the clock.
That was nice. He is a very good player.
Real simple, just toss it out and let him.
Just
Strong
run-
enough, he'll just take
He
3
just
defenders
He
in.
just runs over people until he gets there. No doubt about it. He breaks a tackle, another tackle. 4 guys hit him and he got into the end zone.
Cardinals will go for 2. Thornton wants to throw, sidesteps a
There
defender,
you
gets
go.
it to the end zone, leaping grab. Was he in? He was. 2-point conversion.
That's King.
Leo
Yeah.
King with the 2-point conversion, and it's a 14-8 game heading into the locker rooms here at halftime. So the Cardinals finally strike here. They got their drives inside the 30 3 different times here in this first half, and finally able to make this one a ball game. 14-8 your score as we head into the half. Your Thursday Night Lights City Conference style on My 24. My 24's Thursday Night Lights halftime report, sponsored by Zero in Wisconsin, brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. A late touchdown with no time showing on the second quarter clock has brought the South Cardinals to within 1 score. It's Morse Marshall 14, South Division 8. So we head down to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, so I have not yet got a chance to interview her. She's the newest addition. Kara, how are you?
I'm doing really great. How are you?
Good. I just want to say thanks for joining this team. You've been a great addition. Are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time, and it feels really good to be a part of the team.
You know, the first time that we met at a lunch, she didn't say anything the whole time. I thought, oh man, she's kind of quiet. She's not that quiet. It's been a really good addition to have you, and you've done a nice job interviewing these sponsors. As far as the football game, I'll keep handling that, right?
Yeah, I don't know too much about high school football, which is okay because I enjoy having you as part of the team.
You know, the fact that Coach Basham keeps doing what he does, and he doesn't know that much either, that works out well. Hey, guys, we're going to get back to you at the booth, but I just want to say thanks, and she's doing a good job, don't you think?
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great to have Kara on board here with us this season, and you didn't do so bad for not knowing so much either in all those years, huh?
I was able to fake it for quite a while.
14-8, the Eagles on top of the Cardinals here, but the Cardinals getting that late score, that 7-yard touchdown as time expired here in this first half, has brought them back to within 6 and made a game of it. They've made a nice accounting for themselves here early on.
I have to say, they have played better than I thought they would. I didn't get to see them practice very much, and they just don't have a lot of numbers. And I think fatigue is the biggest problem that they have. But the quarterback and the running back are very good players, and I think they've shown that in the first half. Hopefully, they can continue to do that.
We'll have more from Custer Stadium right after this. This is Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. My 24's Thursday Night Lights halftime report, sponsored by Zero in Wisconsin, brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. A good one here tonight at Custer Stadium, 14-8. Your score, Morse Marshall, a 6-point lead over South Division. One of our great sponsors the last several years here on Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's has been the great folks at First Bank Financial Center. Tonight, unfortunately, great folks are not here with us this evening, but we have this nice message from Craig Kuba, Vice President of Retail Lending, First Bank Financial Center.
First Bank Financial Center is a local community bank serving Southeast Wisconsin since 1859. I'm Craig Kuba, Vice President of Retail Lending. To date, we have 11 branches serving 9 different communities in the greater Milwaukee area. If you live in one of these towns, you know we are actively involved in each of these communities we serve. In fact, 80% of our employees participate in volunteer activities for local organizations. We take pride in knowing each and every one of our customers. So whether you have a free checking account, a home mortgage, or a small business, the local bankers at First Bank Financial Center will take the time to know you. Our employees greet you by name, not an account number. The next time you're in the neighborhood, stop by and see for yourself why we believe First Bank Financial Center is a little different than other banks. We are the one bank, one resource for all your banking needs.
14-8, Morse Marshall on top of South Division. We head back downstairs, our Department of Transportation DOT interview, and that's with Kara.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm standing here with Trooper Robert Simpson with the Wisconsin State Patrol. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good, pretty good.
It's a little muggy, right? A little buggy, but it's the last of the weather we've got.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice night.
So we've been hearing a lot about the Zero in Wisconsin traffic safety campaign. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Basically, what we're trying to do is promote it by education, trying to get to the kids that are in high schools that are starting to drive, what the do's and do nots are when operating a motor vehicle, like don't text and drive, be attentive, not inattentive while you're driving, and number one, wearing your seatbelt, because wearing your seatbelt is a proven fact, it saves lives.
So we've got wearing the seatbelt, don't text. Anything else?
Well, when you get older, as adults, no drinking and driving.
Okay.
Pass that on for a designated driver. I mean, a lot of times these crashes are caused by someone who's intoxicated. Also, speed's a factor. And then on top of that, when we get the serious fatality crashes or severe injury crashes, a lot of times it's because a person just didn't put their seatbelt on. And once they don't put their seatbelt on and they lose control of that vehicle and that vehicle rolls over and they get thrown from the vehicle, I mean, it's not rocket science. You're going to either be great bodily injury or death.
And one thing you were telling me before we started this interview is that there really is no such thing as a car accident because they're all preventable.
Yeah, we use the term as crashes. All crashes that occur in Wisconsin are crashes because all crashes are pretty much preventable, because how a crash occurs is from a violation of law. For example, if you're driving on the road and the person in front of you slams on their brakes and then you run into the back of them, either you're driving too fast for conditions or you were following too closely. Both are two violations of law.
Gotcha. And we've got a contraption back there.
Yeah, that is the rollover convincer. What it does is it simulates a crash at 30 miles an hour when the vehicle rolls over, and we have some dummies in there, and pretty much you are a dummy if you don't wear your seatbelt. And if you show them the rollover convincer over there, when they move it, put it into action, and it simulates a rollover, you see the dummies come flying right out of there and they hit their heads right on the pavement here. And that's what happens to you and me when we get into a crash like that and we're not wearing our seatbelts. So if we don't wear our seatbelts, we're big dummies.
I don't want to be a dummy.
Me neither.
And
so wear your seatbelts.
I don't think you guys in the booth want to be dummies either.
Right. Thanks, Kara.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, it depends.
I've been called a dummy for other reasons, but not for that.
Too. Yep. We're both have had that effect. Halftime here at Custer Stadium. Morse Marshall on top of South Division. Back with more after this. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Now, tonight's Thursday Night Lights halftime report sponsored by Zero in Wisconsin, brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. Halftime at Custer Stadium tonight, Morse Marshall with the 6-point lead over South Division. As we take a look at the highlight package here from this first half, and it looked like it was going to be an early exit here for South Division, as Morse Marshall, after stopping the Cardinals on 4th down, gets the big play.
Well, this Terry Island runs about 45, 50 yards here, almost breaks it. And we thought that was going to be the way the game went, but South has changed that. The little pass outside here to Kevon Ellis for the touchdown.
First of 2 tonight for
but since
Ellis.
then, really, I think South has outplayed Marshall. Here's the other touchdown right here, a little throw over the middle again to Ellis. And that was a well-done play. But overall, I think South has really played very well and has outplayed them.
The highlight package for South includes the sophomore Nance.
Well, he is the highlight package. He can do it all. He's an extremely good running back. You're playing on a team that's undermanned, and he just keeps fighting. The yards he gains after contact is amazing. And put him behind a great offensive line, and you'd really have something here. He's a little toss to the outside, the touchdown they get. You can just see him battling his way. He just refuses to go down, and that's their touchdown on the last play of the first half.
So the numbers in that first half?
Well, the rushing yards tells it. That's how they've. But Mark Witherspoon, the quarterback, is an excellent passer, and I think that they can throw it more if they want to. A little more balance for Marshall. But the yards are in favor of South, and I think that's the way the game has really gone. First down's 12-2. That first time they had the ball, that's really the difference in the game. Otherwise, they've really played them even up.
They certainly have, and they get the late touchdown with no time remaining, so the Cardinals within 6. As we get set for third quarter play, we'll have that for you from Custer Stadium. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's in the City Conference tonight. Rental, or visit them online at economylifts.com or by calling 262-650-1882. I'll repeat here. Economy Lift Rental providing us the great pictures tonight. They provided the scissors lifts for our cameras this season, so for any aerial platform need, rental, sales, or service, give Mike or Sue a call at Economy Lift Rental or visit them online at economylifts.com. Their phone number, 262-650-1882. I understand we've got some weather moving through the northern part of Dodge County, so we got the crawl running across the top of the screen. We'll keep you informed as our game continues here. As we get set for third quarter action, a 6-point ball game thanks to the Cardinals and that late score with no time remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was a good way for them to finish.
Start this second half.
Wow.
Sidney Yera with the return.
He should have. They had him hemmed in back on the 30-yard line, and somehow he got out of there, and he was gone.
It's interesting because during warm-ups tonight, that's all the coaches were doing. Were working on the kick coverage, and what was the last thing that was said to everybody? Stay in your lanes.
Right.
That was repeated I don't know how many times before the ball game tonight for South Division, and they weren't able to do that there.
Well, that nullifies that touchdown that they got just before the end of the half.
Takes all the momentum back to the near sideline here for the Eagles. They will go for 2. Smith, the fullback, will bull his way in for the 2-point conversion. 22-8 on the kick return to start the second half.
85-yard
Sidney Yera,
return,
85-yard return.
Well, there's a long time to go yet, and Cardinals are going to get the ball back here. They need to get it back in gear and give it to the big guy and let him run.
Somewhere between the numerals and that sideline, they gave him an alley in which to run, and once he got to midfield, there was no doubt.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Sidney Yera Jr. had a 46-yard interception return for a touchdown last week against Hamilton. And now an 85-yard kickoff return to begin the second half. Has put the Eagles back on top.
At the same time, South has a couple of guys that can take it back too, but they haven't kicked it that far yet.
Here's one more look. Yep.
Right here. Right over there. He seems to be penned in, and all of a sudden he's running free.
He knew once he cleared the 40-yard line.
It was all done, yeah.
We got official whistle stopping
offside
play.
on the kickoff team.
So the play whistle dead, offside on the kicking team. We'll move him back 5.
Well, that's good for South. They should get good field position out of this.
Well, they've had.
And they've had good field position.
Yes, they
right?
have
they
all
have,
night.
yeah.
As you get a look at their second-year head coach, Carlos Rodriguez, the T-shirt there.
Well, I think this performance tonight by South is certainly encouraging. Should be encouraging for them. Hopefully, it'll be encouraging for some of the students in that school, and think about playing some football there in the years to come.
Nance and King now move up to their 20-yard line. And again, a short kick will be picked up on that far side
There
by
you go.
Gerald's. Gerald's down the far sideline. Gerald's may
He's
take
gone.
it all the way. He will. Gerald's to the 10. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Turnabout is fair play. All right. I'll raise you one. Yeah.
Well, didn't we see this last year in the King Morse
think we
Marshall
did,
game
yeah.
as well? Didn't we have back-to-back kickoff
I think
returns?
we did. Yes.
Another look here as Gerald's nearly
Close to
had that
having his
knee on
down.
the ground.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
I'd like to see that again. Doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, very nice.
And once he got to midfield, that was all she wrote.
Now they need to pick up the two-point conversion to keep the margin at 6.
I'd like to look at that one more time after
Yeah.
the conversion because his knee was very close to his right knee coming down as he made the catch. So go for 2 points here. Witherspoon will try and run it himself.
He did.
Breaks a tackle and into the end zone.
Yep.
Just got it across before he lost the football, so turnabout, fair play.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yep.
One more look at Gerald's on the reception. Watch that knee.
No. All right. Great call by the officials, or non-call. Yep. Well, that's outstanding.
Just above the blade of grass to make that reception.
If there was good grass, and the grass is pretty beaten down here from all the soccer games, I think if there was any good grass, he probably would have been down.
So Gerald's with the 65-yard kickoff return for a touchdown for the Cardinals, and we're right back where we started here.
Well, that's an interesting start. We can go for 3 in a row, I suppose, here.
Well, hopefully at home you can relive these 2 kickoff returns. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's is available streaming live online. All you have to do is log on to my24milwaukee.com, click on the Thursday Night Lights link, and you'll find the complete game videos, such as highlights like these past 2 kickoff return for touchdowns. You also get photos of all this season's games. That's at my24milwaukee.com.
Yes.
All right. What are the odds here?
There you go. That takes care of that.
Oh, and it's an onside. Bounces off the player. I think the Cardinals picked it up, but we've got a penalty marker down. And now you got to wonder if that receiving team came across the 45.
They can decline it.
Let's see. The Cardinals have recovered here. And we'll check it out here as the officiating crew led by Kenneth White. Stansel was there.
You know, I was at practice for South for about a half an hour on
They were working on
Wednesday,
that,
and they were working on the onside kick, kicking it and receiving it almost the whole time. And here's the reason why. And they picked the right guy to.
Went off of Wooten, Travell Wooten, the up man.
And he got the bounce right to the Cardinals, and they're in business again.
So First Bank, first down. Again, a thank you to First Bank Financial Center, our first down sponsor this season. First Bank Financial Center, one bank, one resource. And Nance on the carry for a couple.
McCullough on the tackle. Looks like he got up off the bottom.
Along with Ross, I believe, too. So gain of about 2 on the play. We'll set up a 2nd and 8. We're early third quarter. A couple of touchdown return on kickoffs here. And still a 6-point game, but then South Division on the onside kick able to recover.
And they need to turn it into points and make this hurt a little bit, yeah.
Nance will get the toss here to the near side, trying to get the edge. Nance to the 40. Nice. Runs over a tackler inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line. Pickup of 9, close to a first down. Nance again able to finish his run as we head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey, great timing. I talked to Nash, number 32, at halftime. I said, man, how you doing? You feeling all right? He said, man, I'm not tired at all. He said, you thought I was good the first half? He said, I'm going to tell you, watch me the second half. And there he goes, man. He's a confident young man.
That's great.
Yeah, he is very confident.
You know, he's not that big, and he really brings a load with him when he gets there, and that's what's really impressive about him.
Working off.
He is off on the sideline. I don't know if he's got a cramp or looks like he might have a cramp, yeah.
Working off a cramp on that sideline.
Need to get some water in him.
So now Witherspoon will keep it. Witherspoon gets the edge if he gets the corner. Dances back inside the 35 and close to the 30 or the 20-yard line.
Got the first down.
Yes, he did. Mark Witherspoon, the senior quarterback. Watch this couple of maneuvers here.
Steps out of a tackle again early in the run.
Well, and McCullough had first dibs once again, but arm tackling not going to bring Witherspoon or Nance down.
Yeah, I think Marshall's tackling has not been good tonight.
They'll mark it at the 23. 1st and 10 Cardinals trying to take advantage of the deflected kick off the up man for Morse Marshall. It'll be a draw play. Witherspoon ran right into his own blocker that time. It was Andrew Tyus, left guard, who kind of got stood up on the play, and it was Witherspoon who ran right into the back of Tyus that time.
Been trying to see who's in here for Nance. I haven't been able to catch his number yet. They haven't given him the ball. Hopefully he gets that cramp worked out and they get him some water so it doesn't stick around.
Yeah, humid night tonight for early October. We said muggy and buggy. Out of Nance.
He's back in.
So it's good to have Rashid Nance back in there now. Witherspoon going to change the play here. And penalty marker down. And you have encroachment, I believe, by the defense once again breaking the neutral zone. Nope, false start.
Drawn off. Well, as this game goes on and fatigue does set in, and both teams have a lot of guys playing both ways, messes with your concentration. They can't afford all these 5-yard penalties.
Move it back to the 28-yard line. Set up a 2nd and 15. Early third quarter, a couple of kickoff returns. Morse Marshall an 85-yard return. Then on the ensuing kick, Cardinals return at 65 yards. That's the change in score as we have it. Nance. This time a gang tackle down.
Yeah, that's better tackling there.
They had him wrapped up for a short gain. Kewan Smith, I believe, right there. Getting the first initial hit.
Smith and Wright, I believe, is the other one. Number 40.
So a gain of about 2. We'll set up a 3rd and 13 here for the Cardinals. Trying to take advantage of that onside kick here. Nance the single back, 2 receivers either side. They'll run the option. Nance with a good pitch. Nance downfield, spinning out of a tackle down to the 10-yard line.
Well, Witherspoon did a great job of icing that defensive end linebacker out there, and once there you see number 71 got caught between a rock and a hard place, and once Nance got it, he showed you that burst that he's got. And it's not, Travell Wooten kind of found himself in the wrong spot. He was assigned the quarterback, and once Witherspoon decided he could get rid of it, it was all over.
We had a penalty marker late. It's going to go against the Cardinals here.
I wonder if it's a dead ball. If it's a dead ball, it'll be a first down. No, blocking the back.
Blocking the back.
Bring it back.
Yep. A replay 3rd down, so wipe out the pitch play to Nance.
That's Deion Jones, the defensive coordinator right there.
He's not been happy with the way,
no.
Mike pointed out early in the game he was not happy with the way that secondary was lining up back there. And so 3rd and long from the 28.
He has him right there.
He's going to try and pass. Defense. It's deflected, incomplete.
Tevion Brooks read that pretty well, but he did have him open.
And Montgomery was the intended target, and Brooks able to get a hand on it to knock it away.
Just a hair. Yep.
Check that. That was Gerald's the intended receiver. Yep. Linnell Gerald's. Is that penalty costly? Come out of a first.
I think they go back to the pass again. They can complete some passes down there. There's room.
Maybe they try a little option to that short side one more time. Get Gerald's lined up in a slot. They'll line up 3 receivers actually to that right side. Witherspoon wants to throw, going over the middle, incomplete.
There was nobody there in that.
Well, Gerald's was the intended target. He came up lame, grabbing his right hamstring.
He's probably got a cramp too. Yep.
He tried to cut up field, and again, Witherspoon throwing to a spot, and Gerald's was unable to get there. So they'll turn it over on downs. The block in the back penalty costly, as Morse Marshall will get the football back, leading by 6. Spotted at the 28-yard line.
There you see Carlos Rodriguez, the South head coach.
So about 7:21 to go here, third quarter, 22-16. Eagles with the lead, now get the ball back. And this is Island trying to get around, or check that, Sidney Yura.
Yura, the guy around the touchdown. Yeah. On the kickoff back.
Stansel with the tackle. Yura getting some time at tailback. As it's starting to rain here at Custer Stadium. So a quick shower.
Settle the dust. Probably feels good to the players.
So gain of 9, 2nd down 1. And
that's a problem.
Yura, and he is gone.
He's got some wheels.
63 for 23. Touchdown, Morse Marshall. Sidney Yura, his 2nd touchdown of the 2nd half. This one from 63 yards. Just a junior.
Right through the defense. Nobody touched him.
only thing, the heavy shower. That's the only thing that would slow him up.
Right, yep. He, yeah,
He got to the clear. Once he got in that second level, he was gone.
Yep.
Now,
I didn't see what happened. Did they call timeout or what?
Looks like they're going to pull him off the field. I didn't see any lightning.
Officials pointing to the south that he saw lightning, evidently.
So rain delay here, a little thunderstorm activity here at Custer Field has delayed the game, so we will have to wait for that two-point conversion. 28-16 in favor of Morse Marshall, a 67-yard touchdown run by Yura. And that's where we stand here as Mother Nature has interrupted our game here with 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 22-16. We had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns to start our second half, an 85-yarder by Yura and a 65-yarder. And then the onside kick by South Division, they weren't able to convert. They had to give it up on downs. And then on the touchdown run here by Yura from 67 yards, the rains have settled in here, and officials have pulled the players off the field here. So we're in a bit of a rain delay here from Custer Stadium in Milwaukee. 22-16, Morse Marshall, or 28-16 I should say, Morse Marshall on top.
Well, I'm looking at the radar on my phone, and this must be forming right here because it's not really showing much at all on the radar. But it's definitely raining here.
Look at our highlights here.
Oh, yeah, right.
Gerald's with the touchdown tonight.
Yeah, right.
And that's where we stand here on my 24. So in a bit of a holding pattern here. These two teams, Morse Marshall at 3-1 in City Conference. They trying to keep pace, or at least stay in touch with the Milwaukee King, who had defeated them earlier this year, and that conference crown, and trying to get themselves playoff eligible here in the next couple of weeks.
I think they need to win 4 games to get in the playoffs to be guaranteed they can get in.
And they've got games, non-conference game next week at Clintonville, and then they wrap up the City Conference play in Week 9 against Washington.
Well, that Washington, we haven't mentioned this tonight, but this was not the game that was supposed to be here tonight. It was supposed to be Riverside and Washington. And Riverside was forced to forfeit the game because of an incident they had in their game last weekend with Vincent. Actually, Vincent has to forfeit their game as well. And so this game was moved up from Friday to tonight. But Washington is a very capable team, and I had watched them practice earlier in the week, and that would be an interesting game with them and Marshall at last one of the year. Both of them could be playing to get in the playoffs. On the other hand, for South, they're looking for their first win, and this would be a really nice win for them if they can pull this out. But I'm thinking it's appearing that fatigue is kind of taking over, and fatigue hurts you the most on defense because that's a reactionary thing.
So 6.5 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. We're in a holding pattern here. Weather delay. Second time of the season we've had Mother Nature interrupt our Thursday night lights, presented by Wendy's.
Well, we had a rainstorm last year in a city conference game. Of course, the Whitefish Bay game through Grafton was postponed this year, and we had one the first year. The second game we ever did, we had rain. Otherwise, we've had pretty good weather for almost all the games we've done.
So with the score 28-16, Morse Marshall on top of South Division. We'll step out. We'll get you an episode of Coach here for the next 20 minutes or so while we ride out this rainstorm here at Custer Stadium. 28-16, the Eagles on top of the Cardinals here. 6.5 minutes to go, third quarter. This episode of Coach coming your way, and then we'll give you an update back here at Custer Field. John Weiser, Dick Basham, and the rest of our My24 crew back with you at Custer Stadium live as the rain has stopped, but we're still under a weather delay for lightning to our north and waiting it out here with just over 6.5 minutes to go here in our third quarter of our ball game here tonight. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. As you can see, the Lightning continuing to streak the sky to our north here. But 3 touchdowns here in the first 5.5 minutes of this third quarter. We had the 85-yard kickoff return by Yera, followed by the 65-yard Gerald's return for South Division. And then Yera again, the 67-yard run. And that's where when play was stopped, we had the heavy rain and lightning moving through. But we continue to have the Lightning to our north. And obviously as a safety precaution, teams are in their locker room and we're waiting this one out. So that's the situation here. A weather delay for Lightning here at Custer Stadium with Morse Marshall leading 28-16 over South Division. We'll take you back into another episode of Coach. We'll be back with you at about 9:35. We'll have more from Custer, but enjoy this episode of Coach. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. John Weiser, Dick Basham back with you at Custer Stadium in Milwaukee. Tonight's Morse Marshall South Division game has been suspended due to lightning, so they have canceled the rest of this game here tonight as we take a look at some of the game highlights prior to our Lightning tonight.
Well, here's the kickoff return that opened the second half. Euro went 85 yards and made it look pretty easy. But then South returned. They got the ensuing kickoff, and
Ronell Geralds
took it 65 yards to the house, as they say, and returned the favor and enjoyed it.
So
after that, then South took the ball, had to give it up, and then the last play before we suspended was a touchdown run by Yura again.
Yeah, the 67-yarder, and as they were getting set to attempt the 2-point conversion, that's when Mother Nature interrupted things, and we've since waited out a brief heavy rainstorm, and then now lightning to the north here has forced the suspension of this ball game here with 6.5 minutes to go. So next week, it's a Battle of Waukesha. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's heads to a homecoming showdown as Waukesha North and Waukesha South battle it out both in football and halftime, the Battle of the Bands. That's next Thursday night starting at 7 right here on My 24. From Mike McGivern and Kara, Dick Basham, and our entire My 24 crew, I'm John Weiser. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Unfortunately, Mother Nature interrupting this ball game, suspending our game here tonight. Stay tuned. Another episode of Coach is coming your way. This has been Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's on My 24.